And we are live. Roll up, everybody. Gather, come and join. One man went to mow. We're doing it again. Just a little soupçon this time around, not the full diet at all. The afternoon sessions, as you know, just a little teaser for what is to come later. So nevertheless, you know the routine. Well, this is not routinious. This is as I will. So I will today. So will you? Gather, come and join me. One man went to mow, that bald-headed chap that talks gobbledygook. So let's talk gobbledygook together just for the next however long this session starts. You know the routine. It's an open microphone session, an invitation for you to voice your opinions on the talking point. One man went to mow, the eagle has landed.
Water, only water. Water, only water. Where they see ma. Water, 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 water. Water, only water. Where they see ma. Hapa o naido. Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yẹ o. Nation díya kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Chifu Wáìlà tí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù dòde ojàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹ̀yẹ ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosoname ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodúnkẹ́ ẹ̀yẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹ̀yẹ ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosoname ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodúnkẹ́ ẹ̀yẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbèsè o.
And there we are. Iku koniriwa gbeshe igbalatiele he he he. Powerful prayers by the Kegites. Iku koniriwa gbeshe, as guys I bring you this. Actor CHIWETALU Agu released from DSS custody. So no doubt a lot of you, of course, have been following this storyline. This rather rascally elderly gentleman that went on the streets of the eastern quarters, a theater of activity currently, with the whole place subsumed with security personnel, and he, of course, wearing the provocative regalia of the IPOBA movement. So quickly and swiftly taken into custody, but it looks as though they've given him a stern warning and let him go. Actor CHIWETALU Agu released from DSS custody. So catch and release, we'll find out what is going on there. It is improper to negotiate with Nnamdi Kanu while still in detention. Lawyer Ejimako tells the Nigerian government. So now the language of conciliation, the rhetorics of peace, and the maneuverings of a plea bargain is what we're hearing from the lawyer now. So negotiations is the narrative that is coming out of the Nnamdi Kanu quarters via his lawyer. So he now looking to negotiate his release. And in negotiation, of course, there has to be some sort of give on both sides. Both sides have to give up something to reach a position. But what will Nnamdi Kanu give up for his release? Again, it is improper to negotiate with Nnamdi Kanu whilst still in custody. Lawyer Ejimako tells Nigerian government. So the language of our hands are reached out in not so much in conciliation, but not so much in concession, but in conciliation and reach to negotiation. This is now the language we're hearing from the IPOB quarters. Recruit National Youth Service members into military to fight Boko Haram. Governor Fayemi is the one saying this to Buhari. So this now just the most bizarre of things. So you spend your however much money sending your son, daughter to get an education, 4 years of routine spending. The government compels that young word of yours to serve the national service. And this character now, Fayemi from Ekiti State, recommending that your child be sent to Sambisa forest. Here it is. Recruit National Youth Service members into military to fight Boko Haram. Governor Fayemi speaking to Buhari. So quite what the logic or rationale of that statement is, we find out in due course. Northern youths knock OSINBAJO for urging Naira devaluation. So this is a narrative that we spent a lot of time on yesterday, the merits or lack of devaluing the Naira and free market economy within the Nigerian space. So we spent a lot of time discussing that yesterday, and it looks as though that discussion continues in the northern quarters. So to the northern quarters, northern youths knock Oshibanjo for urging Naira devaluation. So we find out exactly what is going on there too. So a lot to peruse, a lot to reflect on. So we momentarily engage in that reflection just as soon as I've given you a rendition of the talking points. But before we render the talking points regarding Nigeria, it is proper that we start from the appropriate beginning. So to that appropriate beginning, stand at attention.
National anthem, Mr. Albert Congo raises the flag of the new to the...
And there we are. Arise, O compatriot. Nigeria, Kolu Obe. So Nigeria, Kolu Obe. As guys, I bring you this. Actor CHIWETALU Agu released from SSS custody. So here we now a trending story within the Nigerian space. Veteran actor CHIWETALU Agu has been released by the State Security Service, SSS, after he was arrested on claims he was soliciting support for the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Mr. Agu's release was secured by the Actors Guild of Nigeria, according to a statement by its spokesperson and actress, Mona Lisa Chinda. On behalf of the Guild, I was at the DSS office with my colleague, the Senior Special Assistant on Military Affairs and Intergovernmental Relations to the President, Steve Ubo, to receive Mr. Agu today. The actress said. Ms. Chinda added that The elated veteran actor thanked God for surviving the ordeal and commended the leadership of the Actors Guild of Nigeria, headed by Ejezi Emeka Rollers, for their relentless effort in securing his release from detention. Mr. Agu was first apprehended by the Nigerian army in Onitsha, Anambra, after he was spotted wearing an outfit identical to the Biafran flag whilst distributing food to the needy. I was buying bread, 10,000 naira worth of bread. Sharing them one, no campaign, nothing. I was sharing bread when they came, the actor had said in a now viral video whilst being commandeered into an office. Hours after he was arrested by the army, the actor was released only to be rearrested by the operatives of the SSS, where he was until his eventual release. Mr. Agu is notable for being a strong critic of the policies of the Malam Buhari regime. So there we are. So a lot of things point to the fact that this guy essentially set out to be provocative. There's absolutely no that's beyond dispute. Every whatever that word is that I can't find at the moment. So beyond dispute, this guy was intent on being provocative, a virulent critic of the Buhari administration, as is already a known thing, are in Anambra State, where a lot of hot activities going on at the moment. Unknown gunmen, security personnel all over the place. ESN also surrounding the space, and that place being the heartland of IPOB. So he now, in this regalia that you've seen him wear severally, parades himself at the forecourt of the city, the promenade at the heartland of that space, pretending to distribute bread and creating enough ruckus to draw attention to himself so that he can demonstrate then the regalia that is associated and aligned with IPOB. So surprise, surprise, he feigns surprise then when he's pounced upon by security personnel and frog marched to a barrack. So there we are. A man provokes, he gets his comeuppance, but then, of course, after a stern warning, he's released. So catch and release essentially what took place there. It is improper to negotiate with Nnamdi Kanu whilst still in detention. Lawyer Ejimako tells Nigerian government. So now we are hearing this language of negotiations a lot now from the Nnamdi Kanu quarters. So language of conciliation, language of tapered down tonality, language of essentially plea bargaining. It is improper to negotiate with Nnamdi Kanu whilst still in custody in detention. Lawyer Ejimako tells Nigerian government. Aloy Ejimako, one of the counsels to Nnamdi Kanu, the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has lamented the despicable acts of the Nigerian government to frustrate his client's freedom. The lawyer has, however, disclosed how to negotiate with the pro-Biafra separatist group leader. Ejimako argued that Kanu should first gain his freedom from the custody of the Department of State Services before the government could start any negotiation. He pointed out that Nelson Mandela of South Africa, Gandhi of India, and Martin Luther King of the United States were released before the government of their countries negotiated with them. In a tweet, the lawyer said it is unusual to negotiate with Kanu whilst in detention. When a man is in detention and you wish to negotiate with him, the first step you take is to stop resisting every effort being made to release him from detention. That's how they negotiated with Mandela, Gandhi, and Martin Luther King. It is unusual to negotiate with a man in chains. Ejimako tweeted, Kanu has been in the detention of the Nigerian Secret Police since June, when he was forcefully arrested and brought back to Nigeria from Kenya. The Nigerian government had said he was brought back to the country to continue his trial for treason. The IPOB leader is expected to appear before Justice Binta Nyako led Federal High Court sitting in Abuja on October the 21st. So a little over a week now, we're expecting the presentation of Kanu. And if it's not presented, then of course we know what plays out in the East. So now to this now ludicrous headline, and hopefully the content of the piece will explain why this headline is: recruit National Youth Service members into military to fight Boko Haram. This is Fayemi's recommendation to Malam Buhari. Governor Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State has advised President Muhammadu Buhari to recruit members of the National Youth Service Corps into the Nigerian army to tackle the insecurity ravaging the country. He urged Buhari to equally turn NYSC camps into security training grounds to recruit the able graduates to join the military in order to curtail the insecurity in the country caused by Boko Haram terrorists and others. So let me just pause there for a moment. Fayemi, of course, a PhD, and his PhD is in war studies. And this is a man with, I think it was in war studies. Somebody can correct me on that. But as far as my memory, his PhD is in war studies, and somebody with a PhD in war studies, this is now his recommendation that we're reading. According to correspondents, Fayemi, who is also the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, at an event said, with this, we can use the existing orientation camps to train able graduates to reflate the security personnel under a special arrangement that will be worked out. That way, the fund that is currently deployed to NYSC can be used with just some additional funding, which could be sourced through a national emergency fund for the next 5 to 10 years. Those who refuse to join the military service will have to serve in their community without pay. So this guy is really serious now. So I think this is what they call conscription, isn't it? So essentially, this is conscription. Fayemi explained that the steps was necessary and a cheaper way to get 200,000 security personnel needed by Nigeria to tackle its worsening insecurity. By available statistics, we need a minimum of 200,000 personnel to boost the fighting power of our men, the Ekiti governor said. This number is very large and a potential financial and logistic nightmare, he added. Yet, we cannot delay any further. The ungoverned spaces needed to be closed up quickly by motivated men with the singular objective to save the nation. That takes us to the number 2 issue of financing and arming large recruitment. Recall that in June, the Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Shaibu Ibrahim, says corps members are part of the national defense policy of Nigeria and can be mobilized for war if need be. The NYSC boss said corps members are on reserve. They are part of the national defense policy of this country. So, where there is serious war, our corps members are educated, they are knowledgeable, and they can be trained. You see the drill, and so on. You can imagine within the short 3 weeks in the orientation camps, the corps members are molded. They are like soldiers. You see female corps members blowing the army horn, playing with the military band. So, if not for the knowledge, where are we going to mobilize such young Nigerians to train them quickly to put in their best for the country. So, core members are on reserve. They are also part of the national defense policy. Conscription essentially of our core members. This is what we're hearing. So now to the final talking points before I come into the room to see if there's anyone there to take the discussions on. Northern youths knock Oshibanjo for urging Naira devaluation. So this is now a topic that we spent a lot of time on in the latter session yesterday. The coalition of Northern Youth Group, CNYG, has completely disagreed with the position of the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, that the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, should further devalue the Naira for the economic benefit of the country. The coalition observed that the Naira has lost its value so much that it no longer has exchange value compared to other currencies in Africa, especially neighboring countries that Nigeria was once better than. In a statement issued by the convener of the coalition, Malam Yusuf Amiko, the group explained, "We have carefully listened to the position of the vice president and we have critically analyzed his position on monetary policies. His position is limited, seen to the fact that he is not an economist but a lawyer. If the path of the vice president were to be taken, soon the Naira will be nowhere to be found." In his presentation and opinion, he opined that the CBN should further devalue the Naira for an economic benefit we are yet to understand. The Naira has lost its value so much such that it does no longer have exchange value compared to other currencies in Africa, most especially the neighboring countries that we were once better off than. The group observed that the vice president was the chairman of the National Economic Management Team Committee from the beginning of this government up until it was recently dissolved by the president, stressing that the president's action must have had a lot to do with the poor understanding of the vice president. It noted that during the period of his leadership of the team, the dollar was devalued. It noted that during the period of his leadership of the team, the dollar was devalued a number of times, either deliberately or forcefully by elements of the market, saying that surprisingly, there has been no economic prosperity to commensurate the devaluation of the currency. It said that it was obvious that there is no magic the CBN governor or any other persons could do to improve the economy, pointing out that the economy is an important economy with less dollars within the system, but high demand to import and go for medical and educational tourism. So I'm not quite sure how this is reading, but it's not reading especially to me. It lamented that only oil brings dollars into the system, and the subsidy regime and the importation of refined product, adding that it further takes away the dollar that is supposed to support the economy. The statement explained that the vice president stressed that for the country to get dollar inflow, there is a need to devalue the Naira to as much as the market determines, but the coalition opined that it showed complete ignorance of economy and its operations. The statement said that the vice president made it clear that unemployment, loss of jobs, and poor foreign investment inflow are a result of the exchange rate, stressing that it shows the vice president's lack of grasp and a good understanding of the economy. It observed that both the CBN and other MDAs have acted on law that guide their powers, rules and regulations, do's and don'ts, saying that if the vice president thinks certain things are wrong with the mode or intervention by the CBN, there should be a referral to the laws guiding the activities of the bank with respect to those MDAs. It enjoined Mr. President to not contemplate bringing back economic management team headed by the vice president for any purpose, saying that he is a good lawyer but a bad economist. The forum advised President Buhari to encourage the position of the CBN governor not to devalue the naira, but instead create ways that will strengthen the currency. It noted that President Buhari should distance the vice president from commenting and or interfering on anything that has to do with the economy of this country because he has over time proven to be a bad economist. We shall not allow anybody to use his or her position to project unpopular policies that will plunge Nigerians into further poverty. The one the masses are faced with is enough. Further devaluation of the naira means more poverty, more insecurity, more restiveness, and more debts in the land. We say no to the devaluation of the naira, the group emphasized. So there you are, the back and forth of economy by the group and the vice president of Nigeria. So, Charlie Boy, we see you. Ovie, we see you. Good to see you both, gentlemen. So, first to you, then, Charlie Boy, the actor from your part of the world. He has been a bit of a rascal, an old boy rascal. So, what are you making of the capturing, the flogging, and now the releasing of this elderly actor from Igbo land, Charlie
Yeah,
Boy?
yeah, yeah. I think I've heard an actor. I think the actor should be careful because he knows that Nigeria doesn't like people. Nigeria government doesn't like people who have their own country. So if I was him, he should be very careful in Nigeria. But the
Do, do
reason why,
you do you think he was deliberately being provocative by wearing that outfit and parading himself around the streets, beckoning at the security personnel?
no, I think the reason why he wear that because he know that people in Nigeria, want their own country. But it's just that the elite doesn't want the elite of Nigeria doesn't want Nigeria to be divided, but the youth want Nigeria to be divided. Just the elite doesn't want it.
Yeah, but he's not a youth. He's more of an elite. But
Yeah,
do you think he's a rascal for doing that? Do you think was being a rascal?
no, I don't think it'll be Wasca. I think he to the elite might be Wasca, but to the people people in the street, he was like he's speaking the voice of the people. But to the elite, because I bet the elite thought
Okay, so you think he was seeking populism? He wanted to
yeah,
be popular.
he
Okay.
wanted to be popular. So basically, people could watch his movie. He probably did that to get popular.
Do
But
you think it was right for the army to give him a flogging?
no, the army should be very careful what they're doing. The army shouldn't be doing that. The army did that. Basically demolished the image already.
Was he not cruising for a bruising? Was he not itching for a beating by doing what he did? Was he not itching for a beating?
Yeah, the army shouldn't do that because in America,
No. People should stop saying in America. Nigeria is not America. Nigeria is a third world African country, so we have to keep that perspective. Charlie boy.
yes, no, yeah, but the one I'm saying in America, you can wear anything you want. Nobody will hit you or abuse you. Only in Africa they do that.
All right. Thank you, Charles. So now, Charles, this lawyer for Nnamdi Kanu, Aloy Ejimako, he has been consistent in the news quite recently, almost on a daily basis. But anytime he comes into the news, it's always a language of conciliation, a toned down tonality. he's speaking essentially to negotiation, essentially now
Yeah.
looking to negotiate Nnamdi Kanu out of prison. Do you think that the Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer is right to court for negotiation?
Yeah, see, I think you should get American now. In my opinion, just the only way the other killings will stop in the East is not can be out. That's the only way the other killings will stop.
Mm.
Because
And
all these killings, all the killings
uh,
in the East are political. The only way Nam can with all the killings will stop. Can the basic killing people like left and right? They don't know what they're doing. Look what happened yesterday in Anambra said the Apaga have an event and a gang of just kill people there. It's wrong. Why are you killing innocent people?
oh, oh, oh,
They
oh,
just
oh,
stop all the killings.
all right.
It's
Yes,
not helping them
they
at
do
all.
have to stop all the killings, Charles. But staying with Nnamdi Kanu,
Yeah,
obviously they are not going to release him just without nothing. So what
no.
then should Kanu be willing? What would you, Charles, be comfortable with Kanu giving up for his release? So he negotiates his release, but he has to give something up. So what should and could he give up for his release?
I think the two way they go. Okay, two way Nigeria could do it. Nigeria could get Nam kind of Biafra, and Nam kind could stop being angry. Nam can be Nam kind could lower his tone of voice. He could just
Okay.
be nice. He could be like Nam could be like, hey, you could give me Biafra, and I'll leave guys alone. I'm not screaming and shout at you guys.
Yeah,
He could
but
do that.
they won't give him Biafra. You know they won't give him Biafra. You know that, don't
Yeah,
you? Okay, but
yeah.
he still wants his release so he can continue to agitate for Biafra. So are you
One
saying
way he
then
do
that
it.
he will tone down the language and then they let him go?
Yeah, that's the only way. Cause you see, like Nigeria don't like him. That's the only way he could tone down his language and be. He could do it another way. He could say it. He could say it in a nice way, what he wants in a nice way. He could form a political party in Nigeria,
Yes, without
like
cursing and
Africa.
abusing people. Yes, like you
Yeah,
can even join ABGA. That was it. That is his mentor's party. If he's saying
yeah,
he's towing Ojuku's path, then Ojuku was ABGA, wasn't he?
yeah. You know what's funny? You know what's funny? APC will never win Anambra State. They had a big board in Abuja. That's dumb. You've want to become a governor in Anambra. You have a big board in Abuja. APC. That's dumb.
Mm.
My opinion. They have a big board in Abuja. If you want to, if you, that's why
No,
APC will never
but
ever.
Abuja is where the decisions are made. So really, whoever is going to be the governor of Anambra State is going to be determined in Abuja.
Yeah, for my opinion, I don't want APC to win Anambra State because what they did in Imo State, I don't want them to do in Anambra State.
It is
APC
unlikely
government,
that they will.
yeah, they're not the government. The only APC knows is about just to get there to steal money and have in
Mm,
the pockets.
mm,
By the time PDP become president, all the corrupt people will all be in jail. I know for that for sure. All the money
mm,
they steal in this government.
mm. All the more reason then why they will not let BPDP be in the government. Uh
Yeah,
but Charles, do you know what the youth corps is? Do you know what the youth service is in Nigeria?
isn't youth services people who go to different states and do youth work
Yes.
and stuff?
No, when you finish the university system in Nigeria, you are mandated to serve the country for 1 year, and that is what
Yeah.
they call the National Youth Service scheme. But let me not take you there since you probably don't know that much about that space. Let me take you here instead. The conversation we were having yesterday about the Naira being devalued or not and letting the free market take place or take hold. What are your thoughts on that? Free market economy to determine the fate of the Naira. Do
To
you
me,
concur?
to me, to me, it's kind of sad that Naira is going up. It's kind of sad. Even people who import stuff now, it's hard for them because let's say you put a car in Nigeria, first you have to pay the have to pay the car people in the port. They buy your money. You have to pay for the bus. You have to pay for a truck to get to the place you. This other cost so much money for the importers. People putting cars are suffering. Car prices in Nigeria are skyrocketing, and it's sad for the poor people. The poor people are suffering because they can't afford the stuff now because things are so expensive in Nigeria. By legit destroy this economy. By you don't understand what you're doing. he literally destroyed this economy and insecurity. Because people, if one, but I understand that if one come to go, security one of the major problems. If you want to come to go, if you have good security, then the economy will go back to normal. If you don't have good security, the economy go. The farmers can produce food for the people to eat. Then that cause food to skyrocket. See, everything has to do with security. Security.
All right. Thank you, Charlie Boy. Put yourself on mute for a moment and let me talk to Ovie. So, Ovie, good to see you. Are you with us, Ovie?
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, good morning or good afternoon from here. Good to have you, Ovie. This is the question: cruising for a bruising or not? Itching for a beating or not? Actor CHIWETALU Agu released from DSS custody. So you have been following the narrative, I'm certain, of this a veteran actor who put on the regalia of our IPOB, goes into the promenade at the heartland of Anambra State, which is the epicenter of activity within that space, completely surrounded by military personnel. This guy now parades himself in this full regalia, making a fuss and causing a ruckus, drawing attention to himself, essentially poking in the eye uh, of the authorities and the security personnel there, and then he feigns now indignation at being frog marched to the nearest army installation, where he was then obviously told what for and released now. So catch and release actor CHIWETALU Agu. What are you making of that little cameo that happened in the East?
I mean, it's interesting. I'm on both sides. First, on the why is he doing it? I seriously don't know. I was doing research on him. What are his latest work that maybe quote unquote he wants to promote, or just cause the people to pay attention to what he's promoting. His latest movie is Retu Snake or Retu whatever they call it, which is, I don't think that is why. So I shifted my attention from there. Listening to him, he said he's distributing bread worth 10,000 to people. And my question is it his first time of doing that? Or has he been doing it? If it's his first time, then I will agree with the phrases you use in this.
But Ovie, the bread is just a cover story. The whole purpose was to parade himself in that outfit.
That's where I'm going.
Then go back to his posse and say, I went to confront them and they could not touch me. This is what he was trying to do.
Yeah, because if that's his first time, of course, then it's that's not what he meant. It's not meant to, of course it's helping, but I agree with what your statement you just made, that he's looking for something else, I mean, if there's any industry that's been hit so hard with the Buhari regime, this is the entertainment industry. I mean, we can tell how they were, flourishing, during Good Luck Jonathan. So I understand his boredom, his frustration, and he's not particularly a fan of this administration. And we all know why. So,
I mean, just look at all of that, just to interject for a moment. He's a virulent critic of the administration. That is an established known fact.
Yeah.
There's a lot of activities going on within, especially that state. That space, a lot of unknown gunmen, a lot of security personnel, IPOB present, ESN in the forest, a lot of that in that space. That is a known fact. The place is swamped with security. That is a known fact. So this guy now wears a regalia that is immediately associated with all of that activity, and is feigning that I was only distributing bread to the needy. Attention seeking gone wrong, would you say?
I won't say gone wrong, because that man with his exposure, education, with his age and experience, you know what he's doing. I don't think he went wrong. So there's a possibility that it's going to go that way. So that's why I said I really want to know the motive why doing it. And again, wearing the uniform that is wearing, if I should use that word, I mean, So if I wear military, if I wear camouflage or whatever they call it, I'll be in trouble. If I wear Biafra uniform, I'll be in trouble. I mean, where are we? So that is kind of ridiculous. If it's because of that, but I understand.
Would you say it is ridiculous though, V? That
No,
would you say
because of
it is ridiculous that it
because
was
of the
picked up?
uniform. If it's
Yes,
because of the uniform, I think it's ridiculous.
you
You
think
can't
so?
stop it. I mean, how many people are you going to arrest? So
Oh,
if it's because of that, it is ridiculous. But if because of they are trying to get motive behind it, which is why they submitted him to the DSS, and according to the lawyer, my uncle, quote unquote, he said he went through his phone rigorously and couldn't find anything incriminating. So
the security personnel alleged that it was recruiting, he was canvassing for
I
IPOB.
mean, I think
But he insists that it was distributing bread. But just
I don't blame him.
wearing that regalia alone, is that not in itself an act of recruitment?
No, I don't blame the authority, I mean the military for viewing it that way. I don't. I mean, as I said, this is not just the ordinary person on the street. It's not me. It's not you. This is CHIWETALU. He has a role. He's a community leader. People listen to him. They follow him. Yes. If the authority read the meaning towards that level, I totally agree with them. But saying that uniform is a crime, I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna win, because it's gonna be everywhere on the street before you know it. So I don't know how if they're going beyond that uniform, there's a motive. Okay, that's fine.
Would
And
you
again,
wear? Would you wear that?
I
Would you
don't think this
yourself?
man is doing it. He's doing it for the reasons you said he's doing it. Because as I said, it's Chiwetagu. It's not me. It's
No,
not you.
it's
This is a
clearly
prominent
acting to
member.
provoke. Would
Yeah.
you
So
yourself
yeah,
wear
you
that
know what he's
outfit
doing.
in the East? Would you wear it in the
Will I
East?
wear it?
Yes,
Why
where he
not?
wore it.
If the tailor bring out a better design, why not go wear them?
You will wear it in the East. You will wear
That's what I'm saying.
IPOB regalia in the East when
It's not a
security is everywhere.
It's a uniform. Why will you tell me what? If you that of a common flag, I understand that people are using it to rob and all that kind of. If they are pushing that kind of narrative too, then we can have a conversation. But if people are not using it to commit crime, and you're telling me not to wear it, it's just like only just a normal wear to like every other clothes I see on the street. So
All right.
there's no way you can't stop that. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't, because another
Okay.
person will come up with a different.
Well, I don't think you'll see too many people wearing it anymore after what this guy went through.
Well, name that quarter that I know, business will spring up from that area for that uniform. He go begin make money now. So I don't think they will stop. They won't stop. They'll find a way to make money out of it.
You know that guy, he was banking on his age that they would not rough him up, and it was lucky that it was banking on his age. But if a young man is caught wearing that thing, they will kick his head in. They will kick his head in.
No, young man wear it and do that same antic. Of course, as I said, I don't blame the Nigerian authority for reading meaning to it because of who he is and the way you go about it. I don't blame them at all for saying it like that. But of course, you have to go ahead and prove that is what he's actually doing, which they could not prove.
Okay, so a rascally elderly man gets this.
I mean, we are talking about. He's an actor now. He's an actor. We are talking about him. That's what they live for.
You see, he will probably go and write a script about it now and make money. But thank you. Okay, let me move you on then, still staying within the Eastern Quarters. It is inappropriate to negotiate with Nnamdi Kanu while still in detention. Ejimaka is the person speaking to the Nigerian government. So we've been hearing this tonality of negotiation and plea bargaining and release, let's sit at the table from Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer for now, going on a week, if not more. So it is clear that they are now looking for a negotiated settlement of matters to negotiate his release out of custody. So if they are looking to negotiate his release out of custody, they are not going to negotiate his release out of custody, maintaining status quo prior to when they got him into custody. So something has to give for them to release him. So what should they and would they be willing to negotiate to get the release of this guy? What does he have to concede to walk the streets again?
Oh man, that's you painted it so well. What are they going to use? What are the parameters? I don't know. I think I don't know. I think the only way the federal government will even listen to that is if the guy will totally mute, and which is not possible. If they want to, try and do him the same way they are doing, what's his name, Showore now, where are they going to? It's not going to work. I don't think. I think they are just pushing that narrative for the sake of conversation. Because I don't see what they are putting on ground. I don't think the Nigerian government are even ready to even play it out. But again,
only one.
One man, and here. Can I ask a question?
Let me add this, and then you can add your question. There's only one thing that would make the Nigerian government release Nnamdi Kanu, and that is Nnamdi Kanu renouncing Biafra, giving up Biafra. So that is the only thing. There's nothing else that he can offer that would affect his release. But how can he renounce Biafra and still retain his credibility? So that now a question. So Nsibidi, you wanted to add?
Yeah. Let me add. So you, anyone can answer. Do you listen to the sometime back when Nnamdi Kanu was talking about how when he was in detention the first time, not right now, the other time, 2015 and all that. Was it 2017? I can't remember for sure. And they told him that what if they give him the 5 eastern states as Biafra? Then he said,
Yeah,
no,
but
just
that's a lie now. Nnamdi Kanu is a verilous liar now. That guy is truth averse. That guy is incapable of. Did you not say they offered him billions as well? That guy is a verilous liar. He cannot tell the truth ever.
Wait. He said they offered him that, and he said that he can never leave his people in other place or parts of the south, is that the 5 eastern states is a construct of their government. Then he was saying that at some point he now said even if they want to give him just the what they consider the Igbo states, then they will have to incorporate all those Igbo areas they have divided into all the other regions. Then he can go with only the Igbo people if that's what they want. So I'm thinking maybe if he wants to negotiate, he should negotiate on that line then.
Okay. Hold on, Ovie. Insibidi, stay there, because we know you're on this platform to be an intelligent, level-minded sort of person. So we'll hold you to that standard.
Yeah.
Do you, Insibidi, believe that the Nigerian government will offer Nnamdi Kanu the 5 eastern states and say, go and form your country? Do you believe that?
It depends on if
no. Just yes or no. Do you believe that?
One man, I'm giving you a straight answer, but it may not be exactly yes or no.
All right, go on.
The answer is this: it depends on if the perception of who is winning, because definitely how it works in the world. If you win, you take all. That's how most of these people do. So if they discover that they are facing a lot of if they cannot see, any victory for themselves at the end of all this, they might go that route. But if they feel like they have an upper hand in the whole thing, then you will see them. They will definitely not even want to concede even one state to Nnamdi Kanu.
Oh, okay. Let me have the audacity to disagree with you even on what you are thinking. I do not believe that you think that the Nigerian government will offer Nnamdi Kanu the Igbo states and say, go and form your country. You don't believe that now. Come on now. That is one of the most ludicrous ideas on the planet. To say, take the Igbo state and go and form. We know Nnamdi Kanu is a verilous liar now. Do you not know that it's a liar? Do you not know that? You don't know that?
One man.
Who is Nnamdi Kanu
I
in that
mean,
region?
what
He's
are we talking
nobody
about?
in that region. He not be
Some
anybody.
guy from Umahia. It's just from
Listen,
Umahia now. Is it not just from Umahia?
Yes,
What are
yes,
you talking about?
yes.
Do you know the perspective you're speaking from? Like, I know you on this platform, you always believe that power and everything is belong to some politicians and you must play some political game. But the truth of the matter is that as it stands right now, especially in that southeastern space you're talking about, the power is with the people right now. I'm telling you, all those politicians there, all those politicians there are figureheads. They are just political. Yes.
You are raising this thing in a layman way. Raise the standard above. Who is Nnamdi Kanu in Eastern region that you will be given even a street?
Let me tell you, as it stands right now. Wait, I want to answer you. As it stands right now, who are the politicians governing? Is it not the people? As it stands right now, Nnamdi Kanu is the most important person to an average ordinary man on the street in the south. So that's how you have to see it. Forget about all this your political viewpoints.
What you are saying, no be matter. You are talking about. Let's move on.
I understand.
Do you concede? Do you concede in CBD that Nnamdi Kanu is a pathological liar? That he lies all the time? Do you concede that? Do you concede that?
I can never concede to that.
You don't.
When you say he's a pathological liar, that
I can see the surprise in one man's face.
Come on now, Victor. Okay, Victor. Hold on, Victor. Do you concede that Nnamdi Kanu is a liar?
You answer me. Who is not a liar?
Yeah, but everybody lies.
No, sorry. In this country, who is not a liar?
In fact,
let's start from there.
In this world, everybody is a liar.
Exactly.
But
so we don't really need to go
influence is the
that.
impact.
Everybody
that guy, he never tells the truth. Ever.
No. Nobody monopolizes lying and nobody monopolizes truth telling.
I don't believe he said that.
If you ask me, does Nnamdi Kanu
did he actually say that verbally? That they wanted to give me 5 states. I don't think he said that. He can't even.
Did he not come there that they offered him 100 billion naira or something? He just makes things up, doesn't he?
But you know that these people cajole people now. You know that these people cajole. They might tell you something just to cajole you into conceding.
He's just lying now. Look, even Victor, you can't keep it. Look at Victor's face. Ovie, he can't keep a straight face because you know that he's a liar. Look at that. Your face betrays you.
No. The truth is, sometimes there is something I believe. I believe. This whole thing, it's all people all are playing their games to their own advantage.
They are playing with us, the masses. Both the Kanu and the government are playing with us.
Maybe lie is the wrong word. Propaganda. Maybe propaganda will be a better word.
You are talking about power. People who share power in Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu is not in that category, even for a local government.
He's not the guy from Umahia.
If you're going through the political highway, or you're going through the political, you'll discover that you're right. Nnamdi Kanu does not command that.
Anybody.
Wait now. What you're saying, Nnamdi Kanu obviously right now is not even in the. The thing is that he's not going through the route of a politician. The man is going through the route of the streets. The people, the masses.
It's all the
you
same.
Understand?
They are all seeking for power. Either way you go about it, you are looking for the same thing that Buhari is power.
Wait. If I may interject.
It's not the same.
What do you mean it's not the same? What is
sorry,
looking for?
Sorry, guys. Let's hear from. Sorry, Ovie, hold on. Let's hear from Vic.
Ovie, do you think you can tell anybody apart from your own immediate family not to go out and they will listen to you? What is power in the first place?
Now, if you want us to actually put that sit at home cricket and describe and talk about it, I will give you over 50% of people who are sitting at home are not doing it because of Kanu. They are doing it because it's their civil duty. I will do the same too, not because of Kanu.
Do you think you show your driver's license to do you think you get roadworthiness because you love roadworthiness? I want to ask you. Is the road car worthy? Do you not reason that it is not car worthy? And yet you must get a roadworthiness for you to go on the road. Exactly. Compliance is compliance, whether by force or by anything, is compliance. That's what it is.
Victor.
What is civil duties? Answer this one together with
when you see, do you know what you are? Do you know what CBD just insinuated? Do you know what he just said? Forget about. Do you know what he just said? He will be given 5 states. Who in be?
No, I did not say he will be given 5 states. Why are you misquoting me? I said maybe if he wants to negotiate for someone that has wait now.
Don't even go there. It's not possible. It's not going to happen. How? I think even a local government, they won't even put it on the table for him. A local government, they won't put it on the table. That issue control, not to even on issue. They will not even put it on the table for
as
him.
It is right now. As it is right now.
Right now, as we speak.
That is how you're seeing it.
I'm doing what? See what?
I'm saying you're looking at it from the present situation of.
And I will tell you categorically, people are sitting up because of Kanu. People are sitting up because the elite of Southern are supporting it.
Shall I tell you how I think it will play out, gentlemen? This is just my opinion. This is how I think it will play out. The government will instruct him to denounce Biafra to get his release. Nnamdi Kanu will know that he has no choice, and then he will change that tonality from Biafra or nothing to confederation and marginalization and resource control. So he will still be as punchy and shouty as ever, but you will notice that his tone will change from secession to confederation to restructuring to Igbo empowerment. So he will change his tone to get his release, and they will let him go. So this is it. But he would not say Biafra again. That's just it. Because we know Kanu now. We know him now.
Yeah, at this point, the sit at home is not run by Nnamdi Kanu. It's run by the elite in the northern, in the southern, in the southeast. You always believe
that there is a God somewhere controlling humans. You always believe, you place some people way above your mentality. No, it's not true. There is no political undertone to this. It is not true. I was in the village last week.
It will still disagree with you.
Any politician. In Anambra, nobody dares go out to do any campaign.
Listen to me.
So what is politics there?
Can you listen to me? Not the person where they stand for put on they say vote for me, and be politician. Now be only be politician. You know that. Don't be only Let me finish. Let me finish. As we go on, quote me and I talk at this point. What you are seeing there is heavily financed by politicians. Heavily. I said heavily.
To what end? To what end do you think? To what end?
To what end?
To what end? Yeah.
See, this when they talk every time say everything about 2023, when this is a joke at the joke. At this point, until the Buhari House 2023 is over,
you're showing
so hold on. Yes, I just want to show you that they're after you too now. We always get it. So welcome to the club. They are giving you.
You're showing me somebody from Buhari village. What exactly?
You used to be everybody's favorite in the comment section, but now they are turning against you.
No. Somebody like this, if he turns against me, I understand totally.
We thought everybody loved in CBD, but you see now they are turning against you.
I'm not turning against CBD. Just that statement he made, the 5 states.
Wait.
My country go over 5 states. Let me ask.
I never have said, you people, even that's why I'm saying that man might be someone heading cows somewhere, this Abdul, because he cannot understand what I said. I said, I did not say that they are offering him 5 states. I said this is what he said. So if I quote somebody, how am I supposed to be responsible for what someone said?
No, in CBD,
I told you that this is what
I am saying it because now you bring it to our attention. So that's why your name is involved. I'm not saying that is what you say. You said Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, I know what
Said,
I know what you said. But
now
that
we
is
can talk with that
ridiculous.
now.
Because know that my country will say, oh, Nnamdi Kanu, because your noise is too powerful, we'll give you 5 states. Mbanu,
I'm
as
telling you,
powerful as Tinubu is, as leverage as he, they men everywhere.
Oh,
They're not big
Yeah,
power.
you are just, you are
okay.
just, you are just Tinubu in spirit. Don't worry, I
No,
understand.
see,
You can't have one
no,
conversation
see,
without bringing
at
Tinubu.
22nd,
Yes.
no.
And
You bring
Fulani,
up an
Fulani
example.
is a
We
I,
are talking
Fulani.
I
about power.
swear, it's like
Aren't
it's
we talking
funny.
about power? You won't compare
Oh,
power of Nnamdi Kanu to that of Tinubu. In every, even in
Okay,
the
yes.
street,
Okay.
even in
Actually,
the
oh
street,
no.
Ovie,
Hold
Ovie,
on.
what
even in
power?
the
Hold on,
street,
What is
everybody,
your
please.
Ovie? What is the
Insipidi.
understanding of power?
Everybody, hold
understand
on,
my
please.
power.
Oh,
Okay,
Yes.
Ovie, when I say everybody, that includes you. Everybody, hold on, please. I was going to move you on, Ovie, just for reasons of time, but you
okay.
opened up a very interesting space just there, which I want to sound just all three of you on, just so each person gets just to address it. Just that space that you opened up. Who is more powerful, Tinubu or Kanu? So let's take Victor first. Who do you think is
Says
more
no.
powerful? Hold on, let's take
Oh,
Victor
why
first.
can't
Yeah.
I go
I
uh,
was
last?
okay, Victor.
Eh?
power is in different forms.
Oh
When
no,
it comes to powerful
come
as
on.
no,
Yeah.
no, no. I have to
We
explain
are talking
this.
about
All right.
When
Nigerian
it comes
space.
to
In the
when
Nigerian
it
All
comes
space,
right.
to power, cash wise, of course,
All
we
right.
know who has the more money, right? We know that when it comes to compliance, I don't know. I'm not sure because it hasn't happened before. I don't know if Tinubu says sit at home it will happen. I don't
Oh,
know. I don't know if he has up to 10 million people listening to him whenever he talks. I don't know. All
all
right.
right.
But the way this guy is moving, the common man, he has some powers too.
All right.
We have to agree to that.
All right. Thank you, Victor. And I'll share my opinion too, just after you guys. In CBD, you know the question.
Yeah. I'm very surprised that people don't understand. People like Ovie doesn't know the kind of power that we are talking about. You're talking all those power. You're in terms of political power and political power. What is
CBD, answer
politics?
the question.
Okay,
Let's move
okay,
on.
okay, okay. Sorry, let me answer. Wait. Let me answer the question. Now, when you're talking about the power of Tinubu, like Victor said, money power is you can say okay, yeah, because from everything he has gotten and siphoned and everything, you could say Tinubu has power, more money. But now, when you're talking about power, do you know why? You should ask yourself, number one, why is someone like Nnamdi Kanu dangerous to the system, to the established system? That is because it's just the same way this man was very dangerous. What's the name? Malcolm X.
CBD. Now
Wait
money
now.
section be this. This is money section. Just
Wait.
you
Oh,
can cut it
okay,
short. Let's
okay.
move on.
Somebody that is able not just to control the political offices, but to be able to influence, or should I say, to make the ordinary man on the street to have that boldness and confidence to express themselves because they see like someone is having the same view as them. So that is real power. That is the power you're talking about. Someone that you don't need to come and convince people that you don't need even campaign. You just speak something, people resonate with it, and they follow you. You understand? So that is, to me, when you're talking about power, that is what I see as real power. Forget about all this
All right.
political language.
All right. And Ovie.
And first of all, I would like to say I would like to apologize for even putting those two people in the same line. They are not mates in every way, even on the streets. Who get powers for streets? You can't even compare them. You have a man who currently is the vice president of the country. He has about 3 to 4 countries.
No, Obasanjo, Tinubu, we are saying, not
Yes,
Osibanjo. Yeah.
yes. He's the vice president. My picking be that. That's power we are talking about. He controls about 4 to 5 states in that country. After
You don't
Buhari,
know.
individually,
What is
after the
power?
president himself, individually, you have to mention Tinubu when it comes to power. Which power Nnamdi gets? Nothing. He has
Oh,
no power at all if you
oh,
want to compare the two of them. Even on the streets, On the street, though, no be political. On the street, you know if you compare them in the difference
On the street of what now? Have you ever seen if Tinubu is not giving people money and all that? Have you ever heard of Nnamdi Kanu going on the street and having some boys that will do his bidding and maybe sharing money? And so you know what it's
I just apologize.
We can move forward.
All right. Let me share.
Apologize for putting that in the same sentence.
Let me share my opinion on that question too, and then I'll move you on over to the next question. Just because, as you said, the afternoon session we usually like to keep it within 2 hours. So to that question, I have to say I agree with Victor and somewhat of VA. Nnamdi Kanu is by far, in fact, a clear distance more powerful than Tinubu. That's not even in question. Hold on, that's not even in question. What is in question is he even more powerful than Buhari? And the only reason why I am questioning if Buhari might be as powerful as Nnamdi Kanu is because they tell us that Buhari has command over a 10 million strong following, which are rigged political figures. But we know in actuality, Nnamdi Kanu has command over 15 to 20 million people just on the authority of his voice. No coercion, no bribery. They even pay him money to follow him. Is probably the most powerful man in Nigeria, Nnamdi Kanu. Probably the most powerful man.
We don't know what power is.
You don't understand power, but I think I do. Nnamdi Kanu is probably the most powerful man in Nigeria.
I'm the one you should agree with, not even Ovie or Vic.
No. I didn't agree with Ovie, but I agreed with you and Victor.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Nnamdi Kanu is a powerful man. Oh, don't mistake that. A powerful man.
Ovie is looking at the political
raw power.
No, I am not talking about
you know what power. You know what power is, Ovie? Is to control the minds of people. That is power. It is not bullying them. It is not beating them. It is not bribing them. But just true. That is what Hitler had. That level of power. He's a powerful man. Not to compare, but Nnamdi Kanu is a powerful man. No, make no mistake. If Nnamdi Kanu wants you where you are, got at today, he will signal to America and they will get you. He's a powerful man. He's a powerful man. No mistake about that. He's a powerful man.
I don't want
you come here and say power all the time. What Nnamdi Kanu has is power. What Buhari has is guns. But what Nnamdi Kanu has is power. It controls people's minds. That is power. That is what power is. Power.
I don't believe
that guy has 10, 15 million strong following just from word of mouth.
I'm still sleeping.
Just from
it's
a powerful man.
I promise you people, you guys will come and apologize to me as time goes on. I can't believe what you are saying, one man.
Yeah. I mean, it's just some guy from Umahia, but a powerful guy from Umahia, nevertheless. Make no mistake about that.
This is classic.
You don't think Nnamdi Kanu is a powerful man, Ovie?
Don't worry. I would at this point. I'll keep quiet. Let's go.
Do you not think he's a powerful?
It's a very and weeks and months goes on. You guys will come and apologize to me for what we just discussed here.
All right. Okay. All right. Let me take you to an even more controversial space. This guy now, he claims that his PhD, war studies, etc., and all that PhD in war studies affords the Nigerian space is for Fayemi now to recommend that they should send youth corpers to Sambisa forest to be fighting Boko Haram. So Fayemi advises Buhari, but what are you making of that advice? Recruit youth corpers to go and fight Boko Haram. This is what this guy is saying.
I don't know, it's becoming scary to me because about a couple of weeks, months ago, Tinubu said the same thing. If you remember, I think it's in Zaria when he was commissioning a library or something. He said the same thing. And we were, ha. Now, we say, oh, now, old man, blah, blah, blah. We know. Now, Fayemi, these are two people who are front runner to be our leaders. They are saying it in a very casual way with a laugh out. It will happen no, in the next 5 or 10 years. Oh.
But is this
We
not
might not.
is this not conscription
It's
that we are
ridiculous.
forcefully militarizing people,
It's
young
ridiculous.
people, educated people,
If I
putting
want to
them?
support this, if I have the power to support and it's actually going to work, it's to say, okay, we could dissolve the military itself. We could make the youth corps just move in and be Nigerian military. If that's it, I think I will. But what the heck? Like, seriously?
I think they are trying to model it after the Israeli style.
It's going to happen.
You know,
at this point.
But what they are saying is then if you opt out, you will serve without payment, and you will serve. It's almost like community punishment. You know, that they will be punished if you opt out. Conscription of our educated young people.
If you follow the world politics and what is going on, I think so many states, even America, are actually slowly moving out of militarized state. Even the police themselves, they'll be well equipped and all that. I think that's what we are moving to. And as I said, I wish I can laugh over it and say, oh, this is ridiculous. It is going to happen because these two people are saying it. Guess what? Another person will come and talk them. And they will gradually move to that level. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. Why?
Because if you send youth corpers, you train them and you arm them and you send them to Sambisa forest, that guaranteed not all of them will come back.
Oh, for sure. I don't. Yeah, as in, I think
conscription of youth corpers.
I've won laugh over them before, you know, but this is the second time, and these people belong to the same school of thought. Na Papa and Pekin. Now, Fayemi can be Tunubu mentor Fayemi. But I would like it or not. Now, give her a first ticket to be governorship of Ekiti. Now, boy, just like Yemi and the rest of them. So that means this is what they actually believe in. It's no longer let's play with it or let's say because of what is happening in the country. They actually believe this, and I believe they actually have it in the agenda. If any of them get power, it is going to happen.
All right. Scary times.
It is scary. It is. Where are his kids? They don't go
school
for Nigeria. They don't go school for Nigeria.
They would never come back to Nigeria until they are 40, and then they'll say, "Oh, it's too old and she's too old."
People will not go school for the Nigerian system. Now you are now people within the system, the school they complain saying that hell. You are now saying they should harm them to face what? Boko Haram bandits or the main terrorism we have now is not even Boko Haram. It's the bandits that are our terrorists. We never because these people will come in full force when Buhari is out of power because they are not going away. Maybe that time the next president will be mind enough to declare them as terrorists.
And especially if it's a southern president we have the next time, they will unleash.
And these are the people they want us to go fight.
Yeah.
No. I'm sorry. At this point, I go to play and fast not to give the Yoruba people the presidency because I don't get this ideology. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous.
All right, thank you, V. Let's go on to Victor, who we've not heard from for a long time. He abandoned us, but now he's back. Yes. Good to see you back, Victor.
You went
to eat those fresh vegetables in the village. And fresh vegetable, by the way, is a metaphor. I'm sure you understand.
I understand.
So good to have you back. And to that space then that Ovie was just lamenting about. Youth corpers now to be conscripted into the army and sent to fight Boko Haram. This is Fayemi, of course, a senior member of this government. What are you making of that as an idea?
I personally hope it's just a suggestion and it stays within that confines. You know, my major worry is that this country is moving swiftly away from democracy to something that has not been defined before. And that is where I have a problem. I don't understand this kind of practice. But if it's going to happen, it has to be, people would have to choose whether they want or not. If it's going to be by coercion, that will be, that means we are really practicing a different system of government. You know, I pray it doesn't happen. I just pray it doesn't happen because definitely my child wouldn't be. We can already take a cue from the way the present militaries, the way they're complaining. You know, they are not very well equipped. And how are we going to be sure that the youth corpers will be well equipped? So if the military cannot handle it at this point, why bring in? Do you think it's about the numbers? I don't think so. It's about equipping them with the necessary technological and the necessary firearms. So if you're not equipping them, it is not when you bring NYSC people that they wouldn't make. We can't be doing the same thing over and over again and be expecting a different result, man. We can't.
Victor, this is what he said. He says, those who refuse to join the military service will have to serve in their community without pay. So this is what he says. You do it by force or you pay a heavy price.
Well, I believe we can always believe that these guys are going to strategically exempt their immediate family. We know they will exempt their immediate family. Yeah, but this we will begin to see that. We'll begin to see real purpose when they even try to bring in their own kids to come and forefront this idea. You know, an idea that you are not going to forefront wouldn't make any sense. So I know, I in fact, I believe strongly that it's just an assertion. It's a suggestion, and that's where it's going to stay.
Oh, okay. So Victor, now to this language of conciliation that we're hearing increasingly from the Nnamdi Kanu lawyer, speaking essentially the tone of negotiation, which essentially within the cusp of plea bargaining, asking then that for negotiations to take place, you cannot negotiate with the man in chains. So essentially then speaking to the release of Nnamdi Kanu. So this is the tone that we're now hearing. Release and negotiation. There's a lot coming out from Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer. He cites Gandhi, he cites Luther King, he cites Mandela, etc. So he's speaking to this tone. So, but for that tone to be heeded too, for Nnamdi Kanu to be released and then start negotiations, he has to cede something to the government. So what would he have to concede then to get his release? So what can he concede to get his release and still retain his credibility, Victor?
Oh, okay. I think I'm beginning to feel that this whole thing is going to. I think there may have been some level of consultations already going on that is making them sound in this tone, because I personally do not think they are ever going to bring him to court. I don't believe that. So, and if this is the way it has to go, whatever he has to concede, let him concede it. But the truth is, where I am worried about is the level of.
Hold on, sorry. Would you balk at him denouncing Biafra for his freedom?
Let him answer this.
You know, when it comes to negotiations, there are always ulterior motives.
Yeah, go on, everybody. Yeah.
Sorry, answer this as you, if you can, or also one man you can also chime in later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why do you think that they don't want to bring him to the court, and why do you think they will never bring him to the court?
Because the process is not that legal. The way he was brought into the country is not all right. The way everything has gone, everybody has some problems with coming to court. You know, both from Nnamdi Kanu's camp and from the federal government camp, they have some reasons why they do not have to come to court. You know, so, and when two people know that they are limited at certain points, they just try to negotiate and move on. I think that's the reason.
Can I chime in on that? I think the reason why they are a bit reluctant to bring him to court is because bringing him to court is going to possibly create a highly combustible atmosphere, volatile atmosphere. If they bring him to court, there's an anticipation, there's a thought, that there be a lot of activities of his supporters around that space, and they may well be of sufficient enough numbers to storm that space and try to effect his release. So there's that concern, and it's a legitimate concern as well, knowing the Eastern, just the IPOB set up as they can be in instances. They can bring him to court, and then they'll just have 10,000, 20,000 people turn up, 30,000, and they storm the place. They can do that now, and we know they can.
Yeah, you're very correct too. You're very correct too. That could be a consideration. And I also think, okay, go ahead and CBD, sorry.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with the first part of your statement, Victor. But the other part of it's also something like IPOB, or should I say, his people don't want. It's not true. They've been in court from the beginning. You saw how many lawyers that came there. You saw everything. So it's not. It has nothing to do with IPOB not wanting the case in court.
But these people can jail you regardless.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That
sometimes it's not up to how many lawyers you bring. They can decide not to listen to reason and jail the person.
My point is this: the IPOB or whoever, Nnamdi Kanu's people, have always been in court from the beginning. Even before he had got to the court, they were there. So it has nothing to do with them shying away from whatever. Like maybe they have something to hide or something they don't want to be on the open. They are the one actually dragging the government and let's go to court every time. You saw how many lawyers, you saw how they went there even before the trial, even before Nnamdi Kanu was to be brought. So yeah, like maybe I will go towards with what one man is saying somehow, that probably they are trying to avoid some kind of uproar or chaos. But I can't totally agree with that, because there's what they call secret trial. They can even do a trial even without informing the media, but probably later after the trial they can decide to broadcast whatever one.
You may have to institute a state of emergency in the East before you do that.
Before you do a secret trial,
you may have to institute a state. The truth is, see where this guy is dangerous. That he has an army of volunteers, not paid army, an army of volunteers, people who willingly on their own want to fight this cause. Do you understand? So sometimes I believe sometimes it's very hard for him to even control his own crowd. I believe that some of the things his crowd do, he may not really be 100% in conformity with it, but that's how difficult it is to control the kind of crowd that some people want this country down, like let's burn it down, since they don't want to give up. So this is where the problem is, that something that a gentleman may understand and say, okay, let's ride with this. Okay, it's 10 years imprisonment, let's do it. After all, this guy Mandela went in 20-something years. Others may not want to have that patience and start. You understand? So definitely, it's a huge concern. It's a huge concern, and I believe they may not want to bring him to court so that they don't stay another level of, because another Nnamdi Kanu could rise up before he comes out from jail. And that other one may be more militant than this other one. You understand? It could turn into, this whole thing could go either way. That's why the best way is to avoid some of these things. Avoid any way they can. Let them just avoid it. That's it.
All right. Thank you, Victor. And Victor, finally, to that space now, this veteran Igbo actor, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, CHIWETALU Agu, So
Yeah.
now he dresses in this regalia, parading himself in that space, knowing the goings on at that time. Was he deliberately being provocative, or is he within his constitutional rights to dress as he pleases? Which side of
Provocative
that
to who?
to the authorities now?
Okay, to the authorities.
Yes, or to
Okay,
the
now,
space, to the narrative of that space. Yes.
okay, now there are two ways to this. All right, there are human right concerns and there are incitation. You know, yes.
Yes,
The truth
that's
is,
even a better word. Not a
yes,
provocative, inciting. Yes.
yes. You cannot wholesomely lay hands on any of these concepts. You cannot say that because he let's understand this. It is only somebody who is doing something can tell you from his own account what he is doing. We can't put words in his mouth like you are not sharing bread. He said he's sharing bread. What people saw him do was sharing bread. If you call it recruitment, it's your own terminology. Do you
Was it there?
understand?
Was it okay by your reckoning, Victor? Was he there to share bread or to parade in that regalia? Was he parading
But
himself or
he
sharing
has
bread?
been wearing
By
this
by
thing
by your reckoning.
months, even before Nnamdi Kanu was arrested. Now he has been wearing it for long. It's not. It didn't start today. Do you understand? He has been wearing it before now. At least that I know. There are older videos of him online where he is wearing it. We know that he wants. We know that he has this affinity towards Biafra. And to me personally, it is not evil per se to want. It's just like arresting a Yoruba guy for wearing something that connotes somehow the Oduduwa Republic. To me, it's not really, it doesn't really make much sense. All right. And I believe with reason, some of these things can be solved with reason. When you see that kind of person and you start maltreating him right there immediately, you are making the matters worse, actually. You know, that is, he's somebody that maybe if you call him into an office now, explain to him the enormity of this action or the implications of the what he's doing, he may understand it and suspend that without causing any uproar or any issues. You know, so I think
Okay.
the engagement is what the problem is.
Yeah, Victor, the authorities said that they brought him in because he was canvassing for IPOB, and he insisted that he was just there sharing bread for the needy. But wearing that outfit in itself, is that not in itself, by that singular act, canvassing for IPOB? Because he doesn't
Okay.
have to put on a megaphone and say, join IPOB, join IPOB. He, a known figure, wearing that outfit that has an unmistakable association. So he now aligning himself with that movement via the signaling of that outfit. That in itself an act of canvassing and recruiting. Is that not an argument?
Okay, let me make one thing clear. He was not brought in. He was dragged in. We saw what happened.
He was
That is not
invited.
bringing in. Yeah, no, he was not. That's not how you. And do they not have chairs in their place? Why must they sit someone on the bare floor all the
Yes, you
time?
know, the way they need to humiliate
Yeah,
people and
it is these
dehumanize
things
them.
that cause problem. For me, I don't have a problem inviting him, but come on, basic human dignity now, basic human dignity. And then him being a public figure should not be a problem unto himself. All right. He being a public figure still has his rights to believe in what he believes in. We Nigerians, especially our government, we tend to want to exploit people's hard-earned integrity to make it a force that they must use that their integrity to work.
Public figure means influence. You agree to that?
Exactly, but
So
he ate that
then
influence for himself.
if you signal then that this is where your empathies lie, then the people that you have influence over, the people who admire you, they will empathize as you empathize. And if his empathy is reflected in how he chooses to present himself in that regalia, that is essentially recruiting for IPOB. You know, so he
Then,
got away.
however,
He got away lightly, I would say.
However, if he decides now and hangs himself, do you think those his followers will hang themselves too?
Well, no, they won't go that far.
No. But that's what it means. This guy does not control the people's mind. All right. I don't believe that anybody who is following Nnamdi Kanu is following him because there's a gun on his head. No, they're doing it because their thinking tallies with what is. That's it. And if he is popular out of his own hard work. We must not recruit his popularity to work for government. It is his choice to decide where he wants his popularity to show. It's just like seeing Guardiola wearing that tag that signifies Catalonia.
He got into trouble for that, did he not? I think it's still
that,
in court.
but then that doesn't change that he has affinity. He is more inclined to this side. People are more inclined. Some people are more inclined to the federal government than this other way. It's not. Let the government try to modify the way they do things so that they don't come up as being just hostile. That will help a lot.
The only part that, well, not the only part, but the part that I certainly concur with you is sitting that guy on the floor. And I see that so often within the Nigerian thing. They will sit them on the floor and tower over them and point in mocking. You know, they dehumanize people just for minor matters. So even women, they sit them on the floor. And
yeah,
it's unbelievable.
And then these are the things that actually make people who believe in him to even believe more. That's the problem. If you are going to bring him in, let our military begin to do some damage control. Let them begin to wash their image that we have.
All right.
Let them start to show some civility. It will help.
All right. Thank you, Victor. Good to see you again. Always a delight to see you. And CBD, of course, almost certainly not to agree with you because he said died in the wool IPOB adherent. So now to your space of worship and CBD IPOB quarters. So now the insignia of that space being displayed publicly by this veteran actor, frog marched to the nearest barracks and made to do frog jumps and then sent on his way home. So he was being provocative. He got his comeuppance, and then they released him. So just a natural process as it should be in CBD.
Hey, woman, I have seen you are introducing me as a IPOB adherent and all that.
Yeah, you are a sympathizer then. Are you not a sympathizer?
No, I am a sympathizer of any... I'm a sympathizer. I just want my people to be treated fair, equal.
Let my people go away.
Not better than anybody and not lesser than any other person. So that's all. It has nothing to do. I'm not an IPOB member. I don't know how it even operates, but I'm thinking clearly, and I need to always speak the truth and stand for my people anytime, anywhere. And that's the mistake that many people are making in that Nigerian space, and even with the political class and all, seeing all the patriotic Igbo people as IPOB. That's a very big mistake that people are making. And it doesn't mean IPOB. To me, I can't say whether IPOB is bad or good. I'm not trying to rate IPOB, but I'm just saying officially I'm not an IPOB member. I don't know even how it functions. I'm just a sensible person. Yeah, so Chiwetalago, Chiwetalago, like what Victor said, the fact that he's a celebrity or whatever shouldn't make him not be able to stand for his beliefs, and I'm sure he's just a patriotic. He's just probably like me, patriotic, and
Should he
not.
be held to a higher standard for reasons of being a celebrity and a man of influence? Should better be expected of him?
What the man said is distributing bread, one man.
Come
So
on, let's abandon that. He wasn't distributing
no, no,
bread. He
oh
was
no, he was
parading.
he
He was
was
parading
distributing
himself.
bread
He was.
with the regalia of
Mm,
Biafra, right?
mhm.
So I think the problem is that he had because if you ask me, um, all right, I
He
think
doesn't have jeans and t-shirts in his wardrobe. He doesn't have jeans and t-shirt.
so. Yeah, yeah. If it's now, we have to also look at this thing. Is it against the law? Like, is there in the constitution or whatever they call in their law, whatever? Is it against the law
To
to
wear
wear?
to wear the regalia of a proscribed organization of
No, no,
IPOB.
that is not an IPOB uniform, for goodness sake. That is a Biafran. What's it?
Is an IPOB aligned, an IPOB associated.
IPOB and Biafra. Which one came first?
Hmm? What
It's
is the
it's
what difference is
no.
there?
So
Eh?
why are we saying it's an IPOB uniform when it is
Indigenous people of Biafra, that is what IPOB is.
indigenous people of yeah, for example, if you go to Czech, and I think there are two different countries now, Czech and Slovakia. So you
Yes.
mean those old people probably that still believe in the old Czechoslovakia, and probably they have the colors of Czechoslovakia before they divided. You mean they should now be arrested when they come out with their Czechoslovakia
No, but that's
uniform?
the wrong way around, isn't it?
So I'm just trying to say,
No, no, no. You are what you are saying is the other way around. Yes, you should be saying, should people that were
yeah,
in Czechoslovakia that wanted Slovakia and Czech Republic be wearing the colors of either? But now they've
no,
had the
but
split.
because
Yes.
of how it is right now, they
Mm,
all they parted ways. So I'm trying
mm,
to just kind of use it as an example, not the exact context.
mm.
So what I'm trying to say is that one man I can see stand for.
In Sebede conceded the man was being deliberately provocative. He got his comeuppance, a slap on the wrist, and rightly and aptly he was released. So he misbehaved. He got a slap on the wrist, and
One man, the man.
and has been bound to good behavior. He's
If you
been
ask me,
taken
I would.
in, told off, and bound to good behavior. That's what's happened.
Yeah, if I'm his family member or someone that obviously what I will tell him is please don't go out by this time, because you see the tension in Anambra. These people will see anything pro Biafra as
So
an
there you
attack.
are. So there
So
you
I'm
are.
just saying, no, I've not finished now. So yeah, you can say you shouldn't have done that at that time, or maybe wearing that, but you need to understand also that the man did not start that day. Not if he didn't start when he started doing this even before the recent increase in insecurity in Anambra State. So he has been wearing that regalia. I've seen all different types he has. So I've been seeing it online. So he's already used to that. So why should they attack him like he just came out
No.
as a
The man wanted to do a bit of chest beating, but
and
he
even
ended up doing a bit of frog jumping. This is what happened.
one man.
They took him to the barracks, made him frog jump, and sent him on his merry way.
No, no, one man, and even if it's against the law, which I don't know, probably you do the research more than everybody here. You should do research and tell us how this is against the law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So before we get
It is
all that,
against the tone of the times.
yeah. So if it's against the law and all that, like the way they invited Guardiola, fined him, sanction. Why can't they do that as normal human beings? So what
Yeah,
is the
but
point
Nigeria is
of
a third world country. We are
Are
not
we third?
civilized people, are
It's
we?
a
Are we
third world
civilized people? We are
country,
not.
but are we third world human beings?
Well,
We
we
can
are
be third.
by extension, the way we
No, no,
behave
no,
and the
no.
way we
I
act.
refuse to be a third world
Huh?
human being. I
Eh?
can be. I agree
We,
that
we
the
are
country.
not we are not barbarians. Are we not barbarians?
We are not barbarians,
We are
woman. So
not. We are not
if some,
barbarians in Nigeria. Are
if
you?
someone,
They make you
if
sit on the floor for wearing a shirt, and we are not barbarians.
that's
Then
what
what
I'm
is a
saying.
barbarian? That
You
is
know,
that not barbaric behavior?
none of this will happen if we just heard that CHIWETALU was invited by the DSS because of wearing. People will talk about it, but nobody will hold it. People will not see it in this way. But now look at the way they dragged an old man on the ground. Because so it's the way they handled it is very how do you animalistic.
Mm.
In fact, it's
Would you, in the rounds and at the end of it all, just feel that the gentleman is actually the winner in all this? Nobody knew him apart from the core that watch his movies, but now everybody knows him. Has he now emerged out of this now little cameo in credits? Because now the
one,
trending name in Nigeria for what 3 4 days.
one
Does he
man
now come out in profit out of all of this?
one man okay, yeah, first of all, I don't agree that nobody knew, but I don't know which
Well, I
are you
didn't know
talking about.
him. I don't think Ovie knew him.
Maybe you,
You
yeah,
may well know him, but
we all know
we all
him.
know him now.
One man, the man is very famous in Nigeria. I don't know how you look, but I don't know of the even the North. Everybody that watches the
He's
only
still very famous. He's one of the famous
Did you know
Nollywood
him? Did you
stars.
know him before, Ovie?
one
Before,
man I've
before,
lived in a
sorry,
Before this
before the.
incident?
Oh
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, who doesn't know him? I
No,
respect him,
I
but
didn't
he's
know
very
him.
good. He's one of the guys I actually respect. He's natural.
Hmm.
I like him.
one
Yes, but
one man I've lived in several. I've been to several African countries, even if I didn't live long in those places due to the kind of activities I was doing.
Hmm.
I I can tell you that you see that man
Well,
Chiwetalago,
he's even more famous now. Then, even if he was very famous before, it's
Mama
even more
G.
famous now.
Yeah,
all
oh
our
yeah. My
movie
point.
stars are known very
Hmm?
well
Yeah,
outside
yeah, yeah.
Nigeria.
In
All
fact,
our
the
stars
people
are.
that they don't know so much that even myself, I don't know, is Nollywood has kind of a new, it's kind of a mix now of a kind of the old method and a new, bit of a new, these ones they want
Mm-mm.
to push so much in Netflix. And
Hmm.
you see all those ones that are trying to push so much in Netflix, to be honest, I don't know half of the actors there, unless they mix in some of the old ones I know. You understand?
Okay, you
So
are old school. Okay, all right.
yeah, I'm a bit old school. Yeah.
All right. Let me take you then from that actor space. Have we spoken on Nande Kanu?
Nnamdi Kanu.
Yes.
Oh, you're saying they are trying to
Yeah.
bargain
So
or something?
yes, they just the language that we're hearing from Nande Kanu camp is language of negotiation. Let's sit at the table. So if they are inviting the government to come and join them at the table, then they must be willing to bargain something. But
No.
what can Nande Kanu bargain and still retain his credibility amongst his adherents is the question.
The first time when the lawyer made a statement that is pointing to the negotiation and all that, I
Mm.
was thinking maybe it's possible that is the one, is the Nnamdi Kanu's team that is trying to uh, let's initialize the negotiation, whatever. But with this second one, I think it's more like a response to something. So I feel like the man, they are probably they have been they are being I don't know why English, they are being approached, yeah,
Yes.
from through some corners, and is responding in the public. Because if you look at, even before all these things started happening, we started hearing this
Well,
kind of
whoever initiated it, it's in play, but what would he have to, or what can he? Because they can't just say, we've caught you now, go. We know that won't happen. So he has to concede something. But what can he concede to get his release? Because it has to be something significant enough. So what can he concede that is significant enough to effect his release, but then still hold on to his followership by way of his credibility? So what can he concede and still retain some semblance of credibility? Will he be made to renounce Biafra? And can
You see,
he?
we can only speculate as much as we can, but the truth of the matter, I mean, I feel like he will probably. Obviously, they wouldn't want, any other non-state actor to bear arms or something. Probably they'll tell them to, maybe if they have any ammunition or whatever, they should give that up, and probably they'll want him to start talking more about uh,
Restructuring.
what he was talking before.
I suppose he can give up ESN if they, and that would be sufficient enough. If he gives up ESN and still holds on to Biafra, that might well be sufficient enough to
Yeah,
effect
yeah,
his release.
yes. ESN is not Nnamdi Kanu's. Because if you notice, before ESN came out, every day people were crying. In fact, even people they actually pressurized him to come up with that security outfit, and he postponed it for almost.
Yeah, but we saw him in the beret now doing the
No,
salute
that's what I'm saying.
and commanding the troops. Yeah.
He postponed it for about a year, and when he came out, he said if he had done this when they were putting too much pressure on him in 2019 or 2018, then by then people will even our own people will not even appreciate it because they will see it as being too strict. But he brought it in after they've so people even felt it was late. So giving up ESN. Probably they might have to work around it and get it more recognized or something. But if you look at Amotekun, that they will probably push as a legalized regional security outfit of the Southwest. And you look at what these people did there in the presence of Amoktek, with the operation of Amoktekun going on, then you begin to ask yourself that why
No,
should
Amotekun
anybody.
is already legalized. In fact,
That's what I'm saying. It was
should the Eastern
legalized.
quarters come under the umbrella of Amotekun rather than going to form some Ebugabu something? Should they just come under
So why
Amotekun?
will people in the east be identifying themselves as Amotekun?
No,
Are
they'll
they
get the training. Maybe they'll get their own special uniform, but they come
or
under
they,
the
and they,
wider.
and they'll change their name or something? Because
Well, yeah,
those are Igbo people. Woman, they are not.
Amotekun Eastern quarters, Amotekun East, sort of.
One man, one
How
man, they
does that
want
sound
to.
to you?
One man, I can see.
It rings very well. Amotekun East, and then Amotekun West. That's good. Uh, but thank you, CBD. Let me. You round off your thoughts on that in a moment, and then I'll take you to the last talking point. But traditionally on here, almost every day, OVA and I get a flogging. So CBD has had his first flogging on the platform, and you are not exempted, Victor. You
One,
get your flogging too. So this
one,
is this guy now. He says, please, this Victor is not qualified to talk about Nnamdi Kanu. He is talking nonsense. So there you are. Everybody gets a beating today. So back
one
to
man.
you.
I actually, if you ask me, I didn't get any flogging at all because that
Where
man.
was that guy that flogged you just now? The
Somebody,
Aboki guy.
Abdul Jalmin,
Yeah.
Abubakar. There's nothing. I wouldn't expect
I don't
anything
expect
more
the
from
city to
that.
be flogged on this matter because
Look,
everybody actually agree with
Now
him.
look at the man.
it says, one man, you classified this one you called in CBD, and it doesn't even bother to spell your name properly. You classified this one you called in CBD as an intelligent man. Even a foolish, if you got the biggest beating, really, you can see it on your screen, but there you are.
Yeah,
That's just the nature of
Ah,
it.
God.
Eh?
It's fun. It's
obviously,
actually fun.
Eh?
I am not expecting much from somebody like that. So
Yeah,
I
well,
understand. I already know what you. If somebody like I don't want to sound somehow, but the people that I would take. They are very serious. Someone like that was
mm.
already seeing himself as he's already looking at it like a tribal religious war and all that. So there's no
All
need
right.
to take someone like that serious.
So taking you to the final talking point in CBD, recruit National Youth Service members into military to fight Boko Haram. I was alarmed when I saw this headline, and I thought the headline was just a clickbait, and the body of the piece would tone it down as not meaning what the headline says. But it is exactly as it says on the tin. The governor of Ekiti State putting forward this idea to Buhari to turn youth corpers into fighting machines and send them into Sambisa forest. What are you making of that?
One man, honestly, I'm starting to think, does it mean that the so-called Yoruba politicians it's like they don't even love their people or something? Because if you see Tinubu coming out saying they need 5 million, then he changed to how many? Is it 50,000 or what did he say? Or is it 500,000? There's a way it changed. Then now we see someone like Fayemi saying the same thing. Then you begin to wonder that are you sure what we think about? I think Europe, the southwestern or Yoruba masses should be very careful. Let us not be blinded by this our support for tribal politicians and all that. Let's be very careful, because look at what these people are saying. So it means they are not even thinking of the future of uh, of their people.
Just imagine that waste.
Yeah, yeah,
Accountants, doctors, engineers
yeah.
trained at a high expense, and then you throw them into Sambisa forest, give them AK-47 and tell them good luck. This is what
Yeah,
this guy is saying.
yeah,
Throw these young,
it's so
intelligent
funny
people
to
into
me. I don't
Sambisa
know if
forest and tell them good luck.
I don't know if their logic is coming from if they want to do it with the American, they should. Then America is not compulsory. If they want to go with that's a federal. If they claim they are, they are trying to copy the American federal system and everything, then it's not is this mandatory in America? No. If you want to follow Israel, that they have a mandatory military service for the young people, but you also need to understand the circumstance that has led to that. These people are like 24/7 every day of the.
But are the circumstances for the Israelis not too dissimilar to what obtains now in Nigeria? Are we not essentially in that situation
No,
that the
no,
Israelis? Yeah.
uh, one man. To be honest, we are not in that situation. These people are looking at you. Even the people fighting in Nigeria are not planning on annihilating the entire population of Nigeria. Probably you find them that they have. So it can never be the same. These people, Israel is not just they are fighting inter-country. This is an internal uh, issue that we are having. Or even if most of the people perpetrating this act or that are being used to perpetrate this act are coming out, from outside the borders, but it's still a Nigerian conflict. Israel, you're talking about people, they have enemies to their north, to their south, to their east. So it can never be the same. And also there's a way I was looking at a bit of a documentary on how they post, even though they are young people. There's a way they post and they don't waste their life. Those people value life. Have we invested in the kind of technology that these people have invested in? Do you know how many? Do you know how effective even the Iron Dome is? Do you know how these guys have taken a lot of precautions that they could even, in fact, for them to lose even just two soldiers, it's a big deal. So we don't have this kind of we have not taken security as serious as it should be taken. Then we want to now act like the people that have world class, that actually have the best, or should I say second to the best military equipment in the world. So we shouldn't be doing that, and it's not the same. The positions are not the same. The circumstance is not the same. Our economic levels are not the same. Everything is not the same. So we cannot be thinking about that. If you do that to our young people right now, it's just like you want to sacrifice people. You just want to waste the lives of the young people. That's the truth.
All right, thank you, CBD. We go on next to uh, yeah,
What is this guy saying?
Chidibere Udeji as the last contributor. But before we go there, this guy gives you a second stroke because you refuse to take your beating in CBD. So he says, in CBD, just take it as it comes. Every day is not Christmas. You only need to be cautious of what you say if you don't want to receive a beating. So a beating and a warning. So just take it like a man is what he's saying. So, so,
Okay, okay.
so it's going to flog you some more if you say any more. So, so Chido Bere Udeche, good to have you. We already get the signal from your insignia. So let me then take you immediately to that insignia, and we speak then of Chiwetalu Agu, who went into the streets being provocative, flogged, marched by the authorities into a barrack, and given a stern warning and set on his way. So, what do you think played out there, Chidoberi? And am I pronouncing your name properly?
Never mind about my name. You can never
All right.
pronounce it.
Oh yeah, you pronounce it so I can attempt it.
Okay, it's Chidebere Udechi.
Chidebere. So all right. So to you then, your thoughts.
Okay. Good evening, one man.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. So, what happened to Chiwetalu is it's nothing new. The difference now is just that it's happening to a famous person.
Do you think he went looking for it? Do you think he went looking for what happened?
Maybe I don't think, because regarding his fame, he may think he has a chance to get away. As Victor had said before, there were older videos of him doing the same thing in Enugu and in Udi and many other places prior to that event. So I think because he has been getting away with it, he tried to, maybe his Lord did not work for him that day. But that is the regular things that happen to ordinary people like us. Even before.
Do you think he got away easy? Do you think they should have given him a flogging? Do you think he should have been flogged?
No. No. The thing is that Nigeria is a lawless state. I have been listening to other lawyers and the Sons, Arise TV, Channels Television, giving their own opinion on the issue. There is no offense he committed there wearing that insignia. He committed no offense wearing that insignia. So that is what they were saying, that you can't prosecute someone when the law does not exist. There is no law prescribing his action of wearing that uniform. So that's my own take on it.
All right, and still staying in the east, to the Berry, still staying in the east, we go to the Nnamdi Kanu space, the Alpha One of the Igbo people, their first son, in the custodies of Malam Buhari and his, henchmen and his herdsmen. So Kanu in the custody of the herdsmen, but then they are looking to effect his release. So the language of negotiation now coming from Ejimeko, his lawyer, asking that they never left the negotiation table in the first place and inviting the government to come and join them there again. So language of negotiation, but for him to negotiate his release, he has to give something up. He has to cede something. So what would Nnamdi Kanu have to cede to effect his release, but still be able to hold on to his credibility? So how does he get out of this, and what can he give up and still retain his status?
What he can give up and still retain his status, I don't know about that. But one thing I know about Nnamdi Kanu regarding the issue of BIAFRA is, if he agreed to something, maybe under a duress in this movement, he doesn't fit in. I'm telling you the truth. Remember when they negotiated his release in 2015, they told him you cannot sit in the presence of more than 3 or 4 people, and many other stringent conditions on that day. He flouted all of them. So regarding his bail on this issue of Biafra, I don't know. He may just compromisingly agree to anything, but when he comes out, we may begin to see another thing to what he agreed. And that is Nigerian government. Nigerian government is a negotiating slate. It has always been like that. Even in the case of Alban Nawi, when he was arrested before and released, I think in 2016, there was some level of negotiation and what he agreed to, but he still held on to his cause. Even as Asare Dokubo, his case is still in DSS, even though Waziri and many of them. Many people like that with Nigerian series of negotiation and compromise, but whether they go out and bow out of their own cause is what we remain to see it. I don't know.
All right, thank you. And finally, to that Fayemi space, this idea of recruiting, conscripting NYSC members into the military and using them to fight Boko Haram. So the Ekiti State Governor recommends to Malam Buhari in Aso Rock to send youth corpers into Sambisa forest to fight Boko Haram. What says you to the idea?
The man is a joker. He's looking for people to slaughter, and that is the mind of every politician we have in Nigeria. Number one, I don't think we can defeat Boko Haram. We can never defeat Boko Haram if we are true to ourselves, unless we are fighting with a different ideology. I don't know, but before you can defeat Boko Haram or cause them to stop, you have to establish what they are fighting for. As we are talking now, what is the motive of Boko Haram? What is Boko Haram looking to achieve? If you know this kind of things, that is how you can know to tackle it.
Yeah, it's quite simple. They want an Islamic state. This is what they want.
They want as an Islamic state. What is their force? What is their strength in personnel? Or what is their strength in empathy? How many people are not seeing the same ideas in their mind in that same space? So these are the things you have to consider. If a third of your population or a tenth of your population is asking for something, that is that percentage is very considerable. If they are asking for something in ideological manner and they are militating in, you can't just go there, gun busting, and you can't defeat it like that, because the people that are funding this Boko Haram, they are essentially in the government of Buhari. The Commodore have said something like that. But the thing in Nigeria is I don't understand how they can be just bold. They are bold. They do everything they do blatantly in our face. And they are essentially asking us 200 million Nigerians, what can you do? Issa Pantami is there. NASCO CEO is there. And a lot of them, even the general that said that if the Boko Haram repents, that he stands a chance of being the president of Nigeria, they are just rubbing it on our faces, essentially asking, what can you do, Yoruba? What can you do, Igbo? And we are just there looking at them in their faces. It is not that the strength of Nigerian army is not enough to quell Boko Haram, but there is no sincerity in the fight. Even when Ihejirika was there doing his bits, they were complaining that he is committing massacre, that he's committing genocide, retaliating of what they did in Onga in 1967. So the sincerity is not there. Buhari is a member. How can you fight such force?
Okay. And finally, just very quickly on this one, just a question that I put to everyone else. So just a very brief comment on this one. Who do you consider to be more powerful and why? Nnamdi Kanu or Bola Tinubu? So who is more powerful of those two men and why?
It depends on the context. When I was in school, they said we have types of power. We have types of power. Nnamdi Kanu is a very powerful man in the sense that he controls.
Why do you call him Nnamdi Kanu? Is it not Nnamdi Kanu? What is Nnamdi? Which one is Nnamdi again?
That is my own dialect. My own dialect.
Yes. Are you not an Igbo man? Are you not an Igbo man?
Igbo have many dialects now.
Yeah, but even I, a Yoruba man, I can pronounce Nandi now.
I know, but
Nnamdi. Where is the U in the name? Where's the?
it means the same thing. It's just like
Yeah.
it's
You
just
want to
like
show? You
Sebastian.
want to? You are showing off, Abby. Okay. Okay. Carry on.
I'm not saying off. I'm just saying just like
Mm.
Sebastian and Sebastian. It's just the same thing but different dialect.
All right.
So Nnamdi Kanu is a very powerful man in the sense that he has people that are willing to die for him without pay. But Bola Ahmed Tinubu has whip because of has many clouds because of the financial power.
And my brother Chidebere, you see,
Yeah.
it's not just people willing to die. People are dying for that for for what they believe. And the truth of the matter is that as much as I support that point that Nnamdi Kanu in that sense is more powerful. But you also need to understand that one of the major reason behind that is that the ordinary people resonate, they gravitate to him naturally. He doesn't need to do anything extraordinary because they could see themselves in him. And that's very dangerous. And that's why you cannot compare him so much with someone like Tinubu that needs to kind of control the political space by probably giving people money or giving people some kind of assistance or something like that for them to now be loyal to him. That's why I feel like Nnamdi Kanu is much more powerful.
Yeah.
That's the question. Can I ask one question, Zibiri? Will you prefer to be in terms of power now in position of Tinubu or Nnamdi Kanu?
Nnamdi Kanu.
My brother, that shouldn't even be a question of here.
Okay.
And I too, I would prefer to be in the position of Nnamdi Kanu because he, like I said, he has real power. And Tinubu, of course,
real power. You keep saying real power. I don't understand what is real power and what is fake power.
because he
Nnamdi Kanu is
controls
popular.
the
Don't
hearts
forget
and
popular.
minds of people. Tinubu
Don't
does not
for-
control the hearts and minds of people. Nnamdi
Don't
Kanu controls the hearts and minds of people.
don't confuse the popularity of what is going on, who Kanu is, what is going on, and the real power. That's what I want you to understand. The difference
Nnamdi
between
Kanu tells them
popularity
to
and
sit
power.
at home. Can Tinubu tell anybody to sit at home?
One man,
That is
me and
and
you,
that is the
Tinubu tell
one man,
anybody?
one man. I said it before, and I'll say it again. This thing that is going on now is beyond Nnamdi Kanu. This is clearly politically motivated. It's 2023,
All right.
and we will
Okay.
see it as time goes on.
All right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Round off your thoughts, Chidebere, and then we'll round off.
just like I'm saying that is a matter of context. Buhari has enough financial power. He can just buy as many followers as he likes, and we saw it in 2015 election, and even the re-election of I think in 2019, right? If I'm correct. So it's just the context. Tinubu has enough money, enough bullion van to influence some certain
So just in summary, you feel Nnamdi Kanu is more powerful. That's just
Nnamdi Kanu is more powerful because Nnamdi Kanu can say, the governor of Igbo State, I don't want to see you in London. And what we have just, somebody have to just to leak his entering plane now, wait for him at the Heathrow, and he will not enter. That is power.
All right.
So their money does not make anything. There are PSN soldiers that they are not receiving salary, just their food, their laundry and everything. They are good to go. No salary, nothing.
Oh, all right. Thank you. So just to round off now, a literal 1 minute. We go from Insimbidi to the Bere and Ovie to round off. Just because we've already exceeded that 2 hour mark, but then just your final thoughts. Insimbidi, to you.
Yeah, one man. So, if you ask me, I feel like what my final thoughts on the whole thing is that our Yoruba brothers and sisters should not fall into the same trap of blind followership. That's one major thing I need to point out. This thing that we just want, if you see your person there, you feel like You might think that the way things are right now, you just need someone that will put your agenda, put his people first. But as you know, if you also look at it critically, you discover that these people are not really putting even their people first. They are putting themselves, the political space. They are putting themselves first. Because how can somebody, okay, when they will be recruiting 50 million people, for example, or five, even if it's 500,000 youths, for example, will they say they all have to come from southeast and north? Obviously, it's also the Yoruba people. In fact, they might even be majority in the draft. So things like that. Now, whatever is happening to our people, even the all the things that have been happening in the southwest, it's not just affecting. It's affecting everybody, even affecting the Yorubas more. So that's why you find people coming out and that they want their own. Oduduwa nation, Yoruba nation, all that. So my point is that I'm not. This is just a segment. I want our Yoruba people, brothers and sisters, which sometimes I even consider myself as part of Yoruba because I grew up in Yoruba land. All my closest friends, I'm telling you, they are Yorubas. So please let us avoid this thing that we are singing. Even if you want to support a Yoruba person, please, there are so many other people we can support. Go and support someone like
Showore.
Showore.
Look at that.
Uh-huh. Go and support someone like Showore or support. Oh, no, no, please, just Showore for now. So that's the thing. So please let us rise above this thing, all this, and let us please not be singing. I understand Ovie's point of view in most of the things he's saying, but let us let us stop singing whether intentionally, whether sarcastically or not, let us stop singing the praises of these politicians. Because
All
if you
right.
find out what is happening, these people are just playing mind games. They will make themselves so popular in the space. You think they are winning when actually they've just created a narrative. They are not actually winning anything. They've just created a narrative that they are depending on media people and those of us that have voices to help them to push. So that tomorrow when they come out and tell you, I won the whole uh, 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 region, you won't even argue. You say, yes, the way the man is always, because you're always hearing his name. So please let us start pushing for what we want. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Victor. So good to see you again. So now to you, to the beret. So just a literal 1 minute, just to round off. So just a literal 1 minute. Thank you.
Um, I just have to say that this coming election is just expression of just democratic requirement for the politicians, just for them to say that there is an election and they will give whoever they want to announce, they will just announce the person as the winner. Just a mere democratic requirement for them to install their whoever they have in mind to install. Uh, I just have in mind that Fulani people will install whoever they want to install. Regarding what they have done within these past 6 years or so, they will be foolish to give it to any other person that is not a stooge to them. They will be foolish to give it to somebody that is not their own stooge, like what they did in Imo State. If they give it to somebody who have my own kind of mind, retaliation will be the first thing I will do in the first 4 years. So, and they know that. They are planning, maybe, I don't, maybe Tinubu may win. I don't want Tinubu to win for some reasons. Whoever they will, whoever that will go on to become the president of Nigeria will have to compromise a lot and will be just like a puppet to the Fulani people, because they know that
All
if they hand over in this kind of political atmosphere, they are gone.
all right. All right.
So anybody sitting there will just be Yoruba, Igbo, but essentially a Fulani government. It will be just essentially Fulani government.
All right, thank you, and good to meet you. Hopefully, we hear more from you. So, thank you for joining us. So, Ovie, now just still that literal 1 minute, round it up for us. Ovie, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, I will round it up with this power argument that we are having. One thing we should understand that apart from the natural power, God-wise, all the next power in life is political power. The likes of Escobar, the likes of El Chapo, today some die and some are in trouble just to hold the political power. So you guys comparing that kind of power, that kind of power to those of Tinubu is beyond me. But I understand. But as time goes on, we will see that, and you will see that this Nnamdi Kanu movement, the elites from that region will come out and go against it totally by the time the presidency finally elite them because of what is going on. But again, we are talking about power. And yes, I agree with the CBD too. It's not that we are singing the praise of this politician. No, we are human beings. You are human. We are storytellers. We analyze the news, and whether we like it or not, these people we are talking about, they are the newsmakers. Today, if you start making the news, we will analyze and talk about it. So we are not praising them. They are just in the moment, and we have no choice than to talk about them. They command the space right now. So as we go on, I don't would be and with the voices is coming out from Fayemi and Tinubu about this, we Nigerian youth. I mean the coming Nigerian youth should be all wholeheartedly pushing into the military game. It's for me, it's a no for me, and for that I will start a campaign against the Yoruba presidency from today. One man, I thought on that.
All right. Thank you, Ovie. A real delight. Hopefully, we see you later on, Ovie, ladies and gentlemen. So we leave it there. Carry conversation on the comment section. But here, I say, peace.